Just gonna let people show up, you know, that kind of thing. Share to Twitter. Postgame Prosperity with I Hate Sean. Boom, boom. All right. So I tweeted the link. I think I'll repost it from my own page. Boom. All right, we're in business. Yeah, what's going on, guys? How you feeling? According to my computer, too many things are going on right now. All right, well, we gave people time to get in here. If they're here, they're here. If they're not, they're not. The show must go on. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Knicks fans here, there, and abound. Welcome to Postgame Prosperity with I Hate Sean. This is Postgame Prosperity. I'm I Hate Sean, and the Knicks did indeed get a W tonight. Very nice to see. Really nice to just be back in the W column. We had a couple rough ones. We had lost 5 of our last 6 before this, so I'm just happy to get a win. We seemed like we tried to give this game away, which was very frustrating toward the end. I don't know. It was in the bag. We definitely should have won by more than 4 points. But once again, it's a win, regardless of it being ugly or not. It's a win. It counts. We move ahead of the Bulls in the standings, and hopefully we can get back to our winning ways. Great game from Elfrid Payton. By Elfrid Payton standards, I got to add that. And we'll get into that in itself. But I do have to acknowledge he played very well tonight. Reggie hit a big shot. If he would have missed that shot, I would have screamed. He was like open for 20 feet. Julius drew the entire defense. He had to hit that shot, but big shot for him. Unfortunately, RJ didn't have it going down the stretch. It was kind of tough. He had a couple jumpers not go his way. Got the offensive foul called on him. Didn't finish. But 17-7, still a solid game. Wish he could have closed it out all the way. I would like him to start getting more minutes in the fourth quarter. He sits for a really long time from the third to the fourth, and I just don't like that. It doesn't really give him much of an opportunity to establish a rhythm in the fourth. He had a real nice rhythm going in the third. He scored on like back-to-back possessions once again. It's like the second game in a row he's done that in the third quarter. So it's just like he shouldn't be sitting out so long in the fourth quarter. Burks wasn't that good tonight. Wasn't good tonight. Reggie really isn't good. But he hit a big shot. Austin hit a 3 finally, but it's just like we haven't really gotten a lot of production out of those guys. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about. Yo, what's going on, guys? LOL, Elfrid can drop 20, and I still hate him. Not gonna lie. So what I will say, once again, really good game for Elfrid Payton. You feel me? Especially by Elfrid Payton standards, very good game. Not gonna kill him today. Not gonna talk about how he hurts the team and things like that. He played a good game. If he were to play like that every night, he would be bearable. I wouldn't, and that doesn't even mean score 20 points every night, but just play like that every night. And he had his moments where he still did Elfrid things, but overall, he had a good night and he was impactful. And if he did that often, then we wouldn't be killing him. But I don't like the fact, because you see, I'd like to just be able to get out here and say, good game, Elfrid Payton. That's where I'd like to be able to leave it. But you see, some of you, and not you guys, of course, but some people out there are just so annoying that they can't even let us do that. So I was tweeting, I was like, yeah, Elfrid's out there working tonight, or Elfrid's in his bag. And somebody replied and was like, oh, but he shouldn't be starting, huh? And it's like, yo, no, he shouldn't. Like, don't make me say that today. I don't want to have to say that today. But we're not going to act as if him doing this one game out of like 20, he had a good game earlier in the year too, maybe one or two. And then he went right back into doing Elfrid things. So you've got to do this consistently, especially as the 6th-year vet or whatever he is. Like, Quick will go for 31 and 25 and 25 in a week. And they'll be like, oh, he's not ready yet, blah, blah, blah. Let him get the second team reps. And Elf has one game where he gets to 20 points. And they're like, oh, you see, you thought he didn't deserve to start. And please shut up. Please. You're making it hard to just shut up. Please. Stop it. Stop saying things. It's free to shut up. I'm telling you, if your opinion isn't that well thought out, just keep it to yourself. Boom, 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 boom. Reggie tried his absolute hardest to lose this game, and Tibbs iced RJ again, but we still won. Reggie seems like he tries his hardest to lose every game. Once again, like, if he didn't hit that one shot in the corner, I would have never wanted to see him on the court ever again. Like, that's how that shot was really big for me. Like, you know, it wasn't the great. I'm not gonna act like he's a sharpshooter now, but if he didn't hit that one, I was done. Like, there was not a defender within 20 feet of him. It was crazy. Yeah, and I don't understand the whole icing RJ thing, bro. Like, stop, get him more time in the fourth. Stop having him out for so long. It's just, yeah, like, he gets back in the game, and now it's the fourth quarter, and every possession is counting like this, and he's got to get back into the flow of things with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Like, that just, no, like, that's not how it should be going, especially with the way he's playing in the third. We should be able to find a way for him to have a more efficient fourth quarter to be able to get along. Like, I don't know if he started doing that because RJ was tired before when he was playing a lot of minutes, but it's like he's not playing as many minutes as he once was, so he can play the last 8 to 9 minutes of the fourth, bro. Figure it out. Take him out early in the third if you have to. I don't know, but he doesn't have to sit for that long in the fourth quarter. In every game too, it's like every single game. Spacing was horrible at the end of the game. Yeah, we know why. That starting lineup is the worst lineup we have by far. So that is really what hurt the spacing so much. But, you know, it is what it is. What can we do about it? Alfred played well tonight. For some reason, Tibbs feels like he has to have Reggie out there. I don't get that. I feel like that lineup to end the game, you know, it was a good Alfred night, so you don't have to take him out. But I feel like it could have been Alfred, IQ, RJ, Randall, Mitch. I don't know if maybe he wanted Reggie to guard Zach LaVine, but he wasn't doing the greatest job of that down the stretch anyway. And if you think Alfred is such a great defender in his size and everything, then put him on Zach LaVine. Put RJ on Zach LaVine. I don't know, but I think IQ could have been out there. He's a great fourth quarter scorer. He had hit a jumper right before that. It wasn't his greatest night. He had a lot of misses tonight. He took a couple bad shots. But I mean, most shots that Reggie Bullock takes are bad shots. Just the guy who has potential to make plays, bro. I feel like IQ should have been on the floor for a fact. But it is what it is. We won the game. Not going to harp on it. Not going to complain crazily. But had we lost that game, I would have been really pissed off. Because it's like you could have had IQ out there. And even if you wanted to leave Alfred out there off of merit tonight, that makes sense. I'm not going to trip about that. I'm not going to complain. Although it was hurting the spacing. Won't complain. He had a good game. I understand that. Leave him out there. Go ahead. He hit that one big mid-range jumper that I was shocked went in. Like, I'm not going to complain. But Reggie didn't have to be out there at all. And that could have cost us the game. And that would have just been all on Tibbs. And even when he took IQ out the first time, before Reggie came in, like, when he put Alfred back in, he could have taken out Rivers. Once again, maybe he's thinking Rivers for guarding Zach LaVine. I don't know. But once again, Tibbs told us he loves Alfred for his size and defense. So put that guy on Zach LaVine or like anybody else who was out there. But you could have taken Rivers out. You didn't have to put Reggie back out there. But hey, man, once again, we won the game. Not going to go too crazy about it. Damn, I'm way behind in the comments. I apologize. I feel like that was a must-win game for Peyton. That goes back to what we were just talking about, but for sure, he came out. He looked inspired from the beginning of the game. I mean, 10.7 rebounds in the first quarter. He was active defensively more than off. Like, you know, I gave him credit for what was it that he did? The play where he got in the passing lane and deflected the ball, and then Kobe White knocked it out of bounds. I gave him credit for that, and then the very next possession, Kobe White came off like a screen. Alfred didn't even make... Actually, it wasn't even a screen. It was just a swing. Alfred didn't even make a play on the ball, didn't even get his hand up, really, and Kobe White knocked a three down. And we're just like, bro, come on. I'm literally typing a compliment for you, and you just do this. But overall, he had that one where Zach LaVine was driving, and he got his hand in there and knocked the ball out. Like, it's very rare that we can talk about plays that Alfred made, you know, over the course of a game. He made a lot of plays tonight. He was engaged. He was playing. So it wasn't a perfect game, but it was a good game, and I appreciate that from him. Ugly dub, but it's a dub nonetheless. That's a fact. Can't say it better myself. No more Alfred interviews. Yeah, I knew it was going to be Alfred for the interview, and I was like, oh, this is nasty. But, I mean, hey, man, I'm pretty sure he's about to go crazy from the burner account and let us all have it, but it's cool. I'm petty. I love winning, but I'm petty. Elf had a good first half, finished 4 of 13 down the stretch, but no one says that. But why, when Elf has a good game, IQ gets reduced to 13 minutes? I love IQ, need him to play. Yo, Dean, as always, very well said. I don't even want to be the guy to say that he finished 4 for 13 down the stretch because, like I said, he had a very good first quarter, even a good first half. Not a great game by any standard other than Alfred Payton's. But I mean, yeah, 4 for 13 down the stretch. Hey, he wasn't horrible tonight. I'll give him that. But yeah, IQ shouldn't be getting 13 minutes under any circumstances, even on his off nights. Like Elf has a bunch of off nights where he's getting more than 13 minutes. Like I didn't even know you could give a point guard 13 minutes because Elf never plays 13 minutes, no matter how bad he plays. So IQ definitely shouldn't be getting 13 minutes. That's ridiculous. His minutes should be consistent. He should be getting a consistent 30 minutes in rotation every night. On a night like tonight where Alfred is on, I can give you 25, I can give you 20, 22, something like that. But it can't be 13, bro. I can't meet you there. I just want to know why Tibbs takes IQ out after hitting 2 threes instead of Rivers in the fourth. At least try IQ and EP at the 1 and 2. Bro, just said that, so we don't have to go too deep into it, but it really didn't make any sense. I don't understand it. It's like IQ has a much shorter leash than anybody involved. And I get that he's a rookie, but it's just like, bro, he plays and he plays well. And he does things for us on a more consistent basis than just about anybody, especially in the fourth quarter. It's crazy. Obi minutes are so confusing to me. I don't really understand either. I really like that we saw him do a couple things tonight. That air ball hurt my soul because I saw him get the smaller man in the post, and I was like, all right, cool, he's going to attack. And he made that move, and I was like, okay, this looks like it could be something. Like, this is in his bag, and then airballed. Not to say that it's not in his bag, but, we didn't see it there. So, hopefully we do see things like that soon. But, we saw we're going to have to get a couple. It's looking like we're going to get a couple flashes from Obi every night. And, we just got to take what we can and keep it moving. A lot of people saying things like he's a bust and things like that. I'm not really going to get there yet. He hasn't played a lot. But, I would like to see more from him. So, hopefully he starts to get more consistent with those minutes. Hopefully he starts to get more comfortable in his offensive role and continues to hit shots. So wild how great Noel's hands are on D and how struggling his hands are on offense. Bro, it's crazy. Like, he blocks shots so well. He grabs boards. He gets to the other side of the court and just doesn't, I don't know. It's like he has no hand-eye coordination. It's like he's playing basketball with his eyes closed offensively. He catches the occasional lob. He caught one from Alec Burks tonight. That was pretty cool, but I just don't get why he makes it so difficult. I need someone to support me like Theo Pinson supports the team. I'm telling you, man, Theo Pinson is like I feel like, especially with with no crowd and everything like that, and the bench being such an integral part of keeping the energy level high, I feel like they should have a bench supporter of the year or something like that. Like, that should be an award this year. Teammate of the year. I don't call it bench supporter of the year, but something. Best, most supportive teammate. I don't know, but it would be Theo Pinson, man. Like, he does a great job with that. He keeps energy high. I really appreciate him. I love when they cut to the bench for his celebrations. Julius is a goddamn all-star, and I'm grateful for him. He did a full 360. Everyone vote this man into the all-star game. That's a fact. Julius has been hooping. If you're a Knicks fan and you're not voting Julius Randle to the all-star game every single day, you are not doing your civic duty as a Knicks fan. That's a fact. Every single day, it's very easy to vote. You don't even have to go to NBA.com and all of that. We're going to make sure we tweet it for you every day, so a simple retweet gets it done. You can also @ Julius Randle or tweet # Julius Randle and # NBA All-Star. Make sure we're doing it every single day because Julius Randle's doing it every single night. Wow, that was off the top, bro. I really like that. That was cool. I'm going to watch that later. But 27.6 rebounds, 6 assists. Finding guys for good looks. He had 5 threes tonight. I mean, he's the mark of consistency, man. Even when his jumper's not falling every night, he's finding other ways to get involved. But tonight the jumper was going. He makes some great plays and ISOs. He just makes some big buckets for us. And he's been really dependable all year, and I feel like it's getting to a point where it may be a bit taken for granted. So with that said, we're going to get tonight's Essentia Pinky Up Player of the Game. Postgame Prosperity, Pinky Up Player of the Game. That's a lot of alliteration. Oof, love it. Yeah, you knew it wasn't going to Elf. Thanks for the performance, though, but it's great by your standards. Julius Randle, though, 27, 6, and 6. Excellent night. Thank you for showing up every single night and being the all-star that you are. I'll drink to that. Essentia. Remember, never let your pinky touch a bottle of Essentia. It's disrespectful. # they will send water. Someday soon, please. Running out. Elf does this once every 2 to 3 weeks and saves himself same old. If I go back far enough, you said this probably 2 to 3 weeks ago. Honestly, it was more than 2 to 3 weeks. So he does it like once a month. Yes, it's this exact thing where he's played well enough that we have to acknowledge that he did play well tonight because it's called as it's seen. But yeah, he's gonna buy himself like another 3 weeks in the starting lineup with this, and it's disgusting. The Alfred defenders and his burner account will be using this performance to defend his lackluster and mediocre play going forward, or he'll blow us all away and do this on a consistent basis. I don't see that coming, just because that never ever happens, and the norm is for him to revert back to what he truly is. Excuse me. But if he's gonna play inspired basketball every night, and it's gonna be because we were talking shit, fine. I'll be the wrong one. Go ahead and get 20 a night and play active defense and things like that. I'll shut the hell up. But until you're doing it consistently, I'm still going to say that you don't, and I would prefer to have IQ starting. But I understand, like, I'm not going to be, oh, yeah, IQ needs to start next game. IQ is definitely not starting next game. IQ doesn't start when he gets 30 points and Alfred has 4 and 8 turnovers or whatever it is, and that's hyperbolic. But, so he's definitely not going to start when Alfred has a good game and he had an off night. It's going to be a while till we see that now. Every single good Alfred performance, every single good Alfred play buys him another 3 weeks in the lineup, apparently. So, it is what it is. I love RJ, but there's been a few times this season where the first half has been amazing and then we don't see him in the second. I love RJ as well. We saw him in the second half tonight. He had back-to-back buckets in the third. I believe that was the third. Actually, that might have been the end of the second, so maybe you're right. What was that? Was that the third or the end of the second? Yeah, because he had 14 points going into halftime. So, yeah, it was the second. My bad. I feel like, one, he doesn't get enough looks. Tonight he got some looks down the stretch, but he was just, out of rhythm for sure. Shots got to drop. But, yeah, I feel like I don't like the rotation in terms of how it works for RJ in the second half. When he gets back in the fourth quarter, I don't feel like he has enough time to establish a rhythm and, like, playing momentum. Most teams with their main guys, they get them back in, like, 8 or 9 minutes in the fourth quarter and let them finish out the game. But I mean, 6 isn't the worst. 6 minutes and 50 seconds isn't the worst thing. That seems to be where he comes around. So maybe take this thing is 7 minutes. But I just hope that maybe he can get 8 or 9 because clearly he needs to be able to establish that rhythm in the fourth quarter. I'd like to see us at least try it. Let's see. I still don't want to see Reggie at all. Dude shooting 30% from 3 as a specialized 3-and-D player. Couldn't say it better myself, Jamal. Reggie is not that good at basketball. He's a 3-and-3 sharp shooting specialist that shoots 30% from 3. Most of the times when the ball is kicked out to him, I do not think the shot is going in. I'm surprised when it does. And I feel like if I'm surprised when you make shots, you're not a sharpshooter. Like, that's just not how that works. That's not how that term works. We can't use it so loosely. I love your tweets. Better than the New York Knicks account. Haha. Thank you. Go Knicks. Oh, thank you. Salute to you. I speak for everybody at the Knicks wall. I'm quite certain when I say that we really appreciate you. The tweets are for you guys, and we love being able to tap in and, have the fan-oriented commentary and, just the pulse of the fan base, sort of. So thank you to you guys for your involvement and engagement. It makes it way easier to get the tweets out. It makes it way easier to, tweet with you guys and have those conversations. Even this, you guys being here, this show is nothing if it's just me staring here talking for 30 minutes. I mean, I could figure something out, but it's much better being involved with you guys and having the conversations. We almost lost that game. Damn shame. They really did their best. They tried to get that one up. They really tried to give me a headache tonight. I would have been so upset. As much as I critique Peyton, he had a great game for us today, and he's a big reason for our win. He's not the greatest, but if I critique him for playing bad, I have to give him props when he plays well. Yeah, that's what I would say, too. Once again, a great game by Elfrid Payton standards, not a great game by regular starting NBA point guard standards, but a great game by his standards nonetheless. He had a lot to do with the win. He was one of our best players tonight. That's a fact. He's not the greatest. That's also a fact. And if we do critique him for playing bad, we have to give him his props when he plays well. I'm very adamant about that. That's the first thing I said today when I got on here, that Elfrid Payton played a pretty good game. Shout out to you with a live stream after every game. Keep it up, my guy. Oh, thank you so much. Shout out to you for being a part of it. That's truly, thank you guys so much. It's so much fun to do this. And hopefully we get more people over to the YouTube. We were doing pretty good numbers on Periscope, so hopefully we start to see that translate little by little. And, so tell a friend to tell a friend. If they don't hear you, tell again. We're on YouTube for the post-game shows. Rivers legit killing us. That's a fact. At one point today, I was like, I really don't know what it looks like to watch an Austin Rivers jumper go in. It had been a while. He hit one off a broken play today. I was very happy about that. Hopefully, that one shot helps him get back into a rhythm. He's definitely a rhythm guy. He's a streaky scorer, streaky shooter. So, right now is a slump, or, we got to, support him through the slump, doing our best. And hopefully he gets it back and, can get on a consistent basis. Like, because what Austin Rivers can be for this team is huge. That guy off the bench who can create, score, is difficult to stop one-on-one, spaces the floor, moves well in transition, moves the ball well, finds guys. That would be great. And he defends well. So that would be great for him to be that. But he's got to be that. You can't, we need you to be that. And I mean, it is what it is. We need you to be that. What you can be would be great for us. And if we had that on a consistent basis, it would be huge. And it would go a long way in making us an actual good team. Like, that's part of what good teams have. So we need you to be more consistent. Like, that is what it is, man. So hopefully we get that and get it soon. Boom, 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 boom. Facts, he's not impactful enough to deserve final minutes. TBH can't handle the ball in the backcourt and almost always guarantees a turnover if he even sees a double team. That's about Reggie, and I'm sure of it because, yes, he shouldn't be in the game at the end of the game. He's done nothing of merit to earn that. He hasn't shot well. He definitely doesn't handle the ball well. And it really hurts the spacing because, one, he doesn't shoot that well, and he can't handle the ball, so he's not really a threat. So he's just kind of standing in that corner. I'd really like to see Knox get those minutes. I'd really like to see Frank get those minutes. You can't tell me Frank can't get those minutes. Frank was shooting 53% from three before the season ended. Yeah, it's a smaller sample size, but he was shooting. He was shooting and shooting confidently, and that's what you wanted him to do. And if you're saying Reggie's still playing because of his defense, Frank can shoot 30%, bro. I'm sure Frank can shoot 30% from three. He can definitely do that. And he gives you some playmaking, and I believe he can shoot better than 30% from three, but he can definitely shoot 30% from three. He gives you some playmaking, another ball handler on the floor. He can find guys. And he's definitely a better defender than Reggie. So I'm really not sure why Reggie keeps starting and getting mad minutes and finishing games, and Frank keeps collecting DMPs. It's not making any sense to me, bro. It really isn't. At some point, Reggie Bullock has to stop playing so much. Reggie Bullock has to stop starting. Or he has to start doing something. He doesn't do shit, ever. He has like one game a month where he hits multiple threes and looks like a shooter for a little bit. Like, no, it's gross. Stop it. Stop making us watch it. There are guys on the bench who would do better with those minutes. I'm just happy about this win, bro. I'm just happy. Yeah, exactly. It's a win. It's a win. I know I sound a little, I'm talking about things that annoy me, such as Reggie Bullock, but I'm glad we got the win. For a fact, it's much better to win than it is to lose. We had to break that. We kind of lost 5 of our last 6 before this, and a couple tough losses, games we shouldn't have lost. So it's nice. Had we gotten swept in Chicago on a back-to-back, I would have been sick to my stomach for days. So I'm happy they pulled this out. Rivers gives me JR flashbacks. That's a lot. It's a lot like that, bro. It's a lot like that, Chris. Because it's like when he shows up, and it's huge, and he can be, extremely explosive and, really take over on a night. And then he'll disappear for 6 games. And that's strong JR vibes, except for that 6 Man of the Year season. He was there pretty much every night. So hope if Rivers showed up every night like he could possibly show up every night, he could be in the 6 Man of the Year conversation. But not if you're going to do it once out of every 6 or 7 games. Why is somebody calling me? I don't even know that number. That's so rude. It's Postgame Prosperity. Don't call me. Who could that have been? It's not like Rivers was stopping Levine. He was killing us. Yeah, nobody was really stopping Levine. So I'm not really sure what the reasoning was for IQ not being on the floor to close the game, because nobody was stopping Levine anyway. I hate when I lose the comments and have to make sound effects for too long. Okay, boom, found it. I'd much rather see someone like Robert Covington or even Burks, who we already have. They play way better defense and can shoot and make threes and other shots too. Robert Covington costs like 2 first-round picks in the offseason, so we're not seeing that anytime soon. But yeah, I'll take Burks. Burks hasn't shot well either, but at least he's shown me he can shoot well. Reggie doesn't ever, in a Knicks uniform, show me that he can shoot well. He shows me that he can hit a shot. That's not being a shooter. So it's very frustrating, and I hope that we stop seeing his minutes. I feel like I say that every single game. And I've been saying that since like the first week of the season, bro. Like, I've been on the Reggie doesn't do shit train, and he hasn't really done shit since I've said it. So he makes it easy to say. Boom, boom. The Bulls didn't play zone defense, and Elf benefited from that. That's a great observation. That's a fact. But I won't take his A. He had a good game. Great game by his standards. Not going to take anything away from it. It is what it is. Good game. I closed the MSG game as soon as I saw Alfred getting the interview. Come on, Rob. I feel you, though. I feel you. It actually disgusted me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I was happy for him. I'm like, hey, man, you know, as a human being, you know, but that must feel good. People talking a lot of shit. You know, you're playing like shit. You got to know you're playing like shit. Everybody's pointing out that you're playing like shit. And then you have a game where you don't play like shit. That must feel good. So, personally, very happy for him. As a team, won the game, happy. Unfortunate that bought him another 2 weeks in the starting spot, but, you know, happy. Randall had a great game too. Randall had a great game as always. Once again, you are not doing your part as a Knicks fan if you're not voting for Julius Randle every single day. Send our All-Star to the All-Star game where he belongs. He is having an excellent season. He has been incredibly dependable, incredibly consistent, and on a nightly basis. Vote Julius Randle to the All-Star game every single day, or you're not a real Knicks fan. No offense, but you're only offended if you're not doing it. And if you're not going to do it, because I didn't say if you're not doing it right now, you're not a Knicks fan. Going forward, you now have the information. Make sure we're doing that every day. I'm spinning the block and checking. I think we saw tonight the difference between Mitch and Noel down the stretch. Noel has Noel has some moments, but Mitch is special. Really nice boards on the offensive and defensive. He's our anchor. That's a fact. Extremely well said as always, Dean. Yes, Mitch is our anchor. He gets things done. He grabs boards. He boxes out well. He protects the paint. Noel has been playing well defensively. Noel has been playing well defensively. Getting some blocks, grabbing some boards. But Mitchell Robinson he's the guy. He's the anchor. He, anchors the defense. He grabs those boards. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. He creates extra opportunities for his teammates. He's just extremely active all the time, and he really holds the paint down all night. And it's something that really gets taken for granted because it's not like the glamour stats. It's not, and not even all of them are counting stats. Like, there's no stat for how many shots you impacted. I mean, deeper if you do deep dives and advanced numbers and shit like that. But there's no stat for how many shots you impacted, how many, rebounds you may have tipped around or whatever, or just times where you kept the play going, anything like that. But I appreciate Mitchell Robinson so much, and we need to be very loud about what he does for this team every night. Yeah, Noel should not be allowed to touch or catch the ball if he's not 1 foot away from the basket. Even then, he makes me nervous. Dude has some serious butterfingers. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. Noel hands on offense is like he just ate popcorn. That's a fact. And hot potato, too. Yes, he either drops it or fumbles it or I don't know what goes on. I'm not sure what happened to him. I don't know if he wasn't always like that, I feel like. Obi doesn't know how to position himself on a post-up. Yeah, the position of his feet. It's not necessarily his footwork, but it's his footing. It's weird. It's strange. Even like where the angles he takes, he's got, especially when he has smaller guys on him, he's got to get deeper into the post. He's got to do more of the work before he catches the ball. And maybe that's not something he's used to in the league. Hopefully, that's something they get him adjusted to. But do more work before getting the ball. Like, I feel like he'll get the post entry and he'll be kind of stood straight up, and then he'll start getting into the backing down or whatever, and now it's not the same. He's got to create that space, seal his man off, and firmly plant himself in a spot that he knows he can operate from, and then operate quickly. So hopefully we start to see that soon, man. It's gonna be an adjustment. I know it's a little bit frustrating sometimes. I know we want to see more from him. It would be nice, especially with everything IQ is doing, to see both of them doing things like that. But be patient with him, give him some time. It's going to be a game-to-game thing, and just, take it as it comes. Once again, thankfully we have Randall, so there's not so much pressure on him. Every team needs a Theo Pinson. That's a fact, and that goes beyond just the NBA in life. Get a Theo Pinson in your life. Get somebody who really supports you, fully believes in you, and is very loud about your accomplishments. You know, it's a great way to make. It's a great, like, it just feels great. I can only imagine it. Even as a teammate, seeing him be that active over there, even though he's not getting any minutes, that's got to feel great. I'm sure everybody he's ever played with loves him. He just seems like a great guy. Shout out to Theo Pinson, man. We appreciate you, Theo Pinson Hive. Everybody counts. Quivers needs to end. I'm tired of Rivers missing Obi in transition. Yeah, man. Rivers has been. He doesn't ever really look at Obi. Obi gets out and runs, but he doesn't really look at Obi. Yeah, nobody's saying Quivers anymore because everybody loves IQ, and Rivers hasn't really done much recently at all. Also, every time Rivers turns the ball over, he throws his hands up like it's the other teammate's fault. He definitely does throw his hands out or whatever, but yeah, there's definitely some plays that aren't the greatest from him. Hopefully, he gets that rhythm back and, you know, starts to develop some consistency because we'd be a much better team if Austin Rivers was consistent. So let's just keep hoping for it, man. Boom. Burks had a bad game, but as long as he sticks as a shooter and not point Burks, it should be fine. Fully agree. Yeah, like if they're not trying to run the offense through him and he's just spotting up and things like that, he'll hit the shots eventually. If he doesn't hit him one night, he'll hit him the next night. If he doesn't hit him in the first quarter, he might hit him in the third. But he can shoot and he gets that shot up quickly. And he's like, you know, he's a real floor spacer. So yeah, that's fine. RJ got iced out for Peyton the brick shots on his way to 20 on 19 shots. That's on Tibbs. Damn, 20 on 19 shots. I mean, when you put it that way, the 20's not the same. I mean, but hey, 20. Hey. He was 4 for 13 down the stretch, but he had a good game. Yeah, I don't like that RJ was iced out. Once again, he did get some possessions down the stretch, but I feel like he had already been iced out by that point. There's definitely no momentum and rhythm going there. And, you know, but he does have to hit some of the shots. But, you know, some of them didn't go his way down the stretch there. It would have been really nice for him, too. Like, especially he had a couple step backs, so I was like, ooh. Feels like we've given up more backdoor buckets to the Bulls in 2 games than against anyone the rest of the year. Why do you think that is? Yo, that's a fact. The Bulls' offense may just be highly predicated on backdoors. I mean, it's something that, you know, it's one of the basics of basketball. Like, if the man's dribbling toward you in the corner, you either take the dribble handoff or you go backdoor. But it seems like the Bulls look for that a lot. That's something Zach LaVine's always kind of thrived on because due to his quickness and just, you know, athleticism. So, yeah, but we did get lost on protecting the three-point line a little more, so got beat backdoor some. Definitely gave up too many of those, though. Like, that's something that can't happen a lot of times just simply because you fell asleep. So, you know, hopefully they watch the film and make sure it doesn't become a habit for other teams as well. Leave that in Chicago. We don't have any more games there this year, so leave it there. Facts. There's a reason LeBron let him go to New York and keep KCP instead of trying to convince him to stay in LA, and it obviously paid off for them. Are you talking about Bullock? Yeah, like, listen, man, Reggie is what Reggie is, and we know what Reggie is not, and that's not a sharpshooter. So please, you know, stop making us watch him so much. Stop starting him, please. But now that we won in the starting lineup, you know, Alfred played well, it's going to make Reggie safe too. I don't understand why we have to deal with this. Starters: IQ, Burks, RJ, Randall, Mitch. Bench: Peyton and Frank, Bullock or Rivers, Knox, Obi, Noel. This isn't hard. Yeah, I mean, in my ideal world, it's IQ, Burks, RJ, Randall, and Mitch, and then Frank, Rivers, Knox, Obi, and Noel. But you know, that's not my ideal world. Once again, Alfred Payton had a semi-good game tonight, so there's no way that he's going to be benched, and there's no way that he's not going to be starting. So we got to take what we can. We got to take what we deal with for now, man. Excuse me. Great game. 20 on 19 shots is a great game. I swear people used to murder Melo for that. That's a fact. I mean, we definitely don't hold Alfred to the Melo standard. First of all, they used to murder Melo for everything. I used to hate it. But yeah, Alfred's not held to that standard. But 20 on 19 shots is objectively not a great game for really anybody else. I wouldn't call that a great game for anybody. But once again, great game by Alfred Payton standards. And I just got to say it and be loud about it because, you know, we say it every time he has a horrible game, which is pretty much every game. This game wasn't the greatest, but it was probably his greatest. So, great game. There we go. TBH for Obi hasn't been the main scoring option since March in Dayton and has only been shooting jumpers since we drafted him. Yeah, but he's got to get better with the positioning in the post for sure. And once again, he's just going to have to get more comfortable offensively. The jumper fell today. That was cool. Hopefully that continues to happen. That'll continue to boost his confidence. And then, you know, the post moves start to go. I feel like not having a summer league the early season injury, those are also things Tibbs said he thinks affected him. I definitely think those had an impact. So we're just going to have to take the process as it goes, man. Progress is a process. So just give him some time, man. Boom, 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 boom. Looks like some heads making it over from Periscope. Hey, retweet Sean on Twitter and get the whole crowd over. Keep supporting our guy. Yo, salute to you guys. On behalf of the Knicks wall, we are completely thankful for your engagement and involvement. It really means the world. But yes, you're right, Dean. Get them over here. You feel me? Let's get everybody over to the YouTube. I feel like the content is better over here. So, hopefully we can get back to those numbers we had on Periscope and then beyond. Just take it as far as we can. They're not setting him up in transition. That's about Obi. Rivers misses him 5 times a game. Tibbs needs to do better. I think Frank would help him thrive in pick and roll. I agree with that. Frank would definitely help him thrive in pick and roll. I feel like Frank would definitely find him. He would be looking for him. He would make sure he gets his looks. He make sure he tries to put him in position, things like that. Is Frank injured right now or just inactive? I have no idea what his status is. He's active. He's just not playing. He's getting DNPs. He's over there. He's on the bench. I don't know if maybe the injury is still lingering, but I doubt it. They don't really seem like they clear guys to play while they're still injured. So I would hope that, once again, after today, we're not going to see him for a minute again because Alfred had a semi-good game, 20 on 19 shots. But I do hope we see him soon. I hope we see him in favor in instead of Reggie. I don't know, but he should be able to get some minutes, man. It's ridiculous. Boom. So much better. Oh, damn it. I hate when the comments go away. So much better on YouTube. Great work, Sean. Salute to you, Keith. Thanks so much. That really means a lot. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming over to YouTube. And yeah, I appreciate it over here too. Like streaming from the camera is really cool. Having the microphone audio. So really just hope we can get as many people over here as possible. All right, Sean, you got a baseball team? If not, I'm dragging you to the Mets. You got it. I'm so sorry, bro, but I'm a Yankee fan. Been a Yankee fan. Not huge on baseball like I used to be when I lived in New York or even as a kid when I played it for a little bit. So I'm not really huge on baseball these days. But, in October, I be carrying a lot. All year I kind of peek over and be like, okay, what's going on over there? And then when October rolls around, I act like I cared all year. Boom. We need a Jordan Clarkson type bench pure scorer. Eventually IQ starts, assuming Elf is gone. Hopefully IQ does start. That bench scorer we need is Austin Rivers. He just has to be that bench scorer. But I definitely feel you, though. That consistent scoring off the bench could definitely be a big thing for us. Jordan Clarkson is, very reliable from every night. And if Austin Rivers is able to be reliable every night, it would really make this team different. Damn, more Mets fans than Yanks fans in here. Nah, bro, like I said, Yankees, you already know what it is. Knox should get more minutes. Knox should get any minutes at all, especially with Reggie out there playing so many minutes and starting. I love Tibbs. He brought direction and accountability to this franchise. They look so different than years past, but he does that old man trust the vets over the better young players and no Knox Frank. Very well said. Yeah, a lot of people say Tibbs is an airhead or blah, blah, blah. Like he makes frustrating things. There's frustrating rotational decisions and things like that I don't agree with and don't really like. But, let's not be ridiculous. Yeah, he definitely has brought accountability and direction to the franchise. We're playing defense. We're the number 1 ranked defense in the NBA. That never, ever happens. Excuse me. Guys are improving. We're getting a big second year from RJ. We got a complete turnaround from Julius Randle. Mitchell Robinson is playing 30 minutes a game and hasn't fouled out yet. Or did he foul? No, he hasn't fouled out yet. So, give Tibbs his credit. Give him his flowers where they're due. You complain about the rotations for a fact. I'm annoyed with that too. The starting lineup is the worst lineup we have on the roster. Certain things he's doing makes it almost seem like he doesn't watch film because it's like if you're watching film, this guy's out there not doing shit. But, let's not be ridiculous. Let's not overreact. At the end of the day, still very thankful for him and, what he's been doing for this team going forward so far and hopefully going forward. But, yes, it doesn't make any sense not to be playing Knox or Frank and to be playing Elf and Reggie. I'll leave Elf out of it tonight because I don't want to weaken the argument when he had a semi-good game. But Reggie should not be playing. Reggie should not be playing at all. Reggie should not be starting. Reggie should not be playing. It's ridiculous. I'd be happy if we almost didn't blow it. Some things just don't feel like a W with this. Some things just don't feel like a W. Feel like with a W like this. Some things just don't feel like with a. Okay, I know what you're trying to say. I get it. And I almost agree. Almost. A part of me, I feel like Postgame Prosperity would have had a different energy had we not almost blown the game like that. So I definitely get where you're coming from. But it's a W. You feel me? And the way that I handle that is it was annoying. The way we closed it out, it was annoying how we almost gave it up. But the game is over. Just like the Clippers game the other day, where it's damn, we played well. we played well, but it's an L regardless. Like, it's like, yeah, would have been nice. Came pretty close. Maybe if they didn't hit so many shots, we could have blah, blah, blah. We almost beat the Clippers, but it's an L. So it's like, no matter what happens, we almost gave it up, but it's a dub, and we got to move on. But I definitely feel where you're coming from, though. I do. Trust me. I'm not killing you for it. I just, we just got to do what we can. Y'all help me out. Who are other good 3-and-D players in the league? Good to great. I mean, like you said, Covington earlier. There's a few guys, man. I wish we could have gotten Desmond Bane, the Grizzlies drafted. That would have made me really happy. I don't know what the market is for those kind of guys right now. I'm not really sure. Like, a couple of stars getting traded and all those first round picks going around. I don't even know if the NBA knows what the market is for marginal guys. But I mean, it would be nice to have a consistent 3-and-D guy in orange and blue. So yeah, yeah. Bullock reminds of Ellington last year and the year before, a 3-point shooter who couldn't hit the ocean. Bullock was also that guy last year. They were both 3-point shooters who couldn't hit the ocean. Bullock just stayed. It's really disgusting. Rather lose with Frank than win with Rivers. I'm not gonna lie. This year, give me all the wins. I want to win. I get where you're coming from. I feel like that person is Bullock and not Rivers. But I want to win regardless. I don't want to lose with anybody, but I would like to play Frank. Why is Mitch falling down so much recently? Man's just always on the floor. He's giving it all he's got, man. He's always on the floor, but he's always on the floor. He's playing over 30 minutes a game, or at least 30 minutes a game, and that's because he's able to stay out of foul trouble, be active, lock the paint down, and make us number one defense in the NBA while being an anchor. So, I mean, I wish he would stand up some more too, but hey, man, he's giving it his all out there, and he's putting it all on the line, and sometimes it's on the lines on the floor. That was a corny end to that. It started off so well. Disappointing. He getting fouled and the refs aren't calling it. Yeah, that's also happening. That happens a lot for guys in Knicks uniforms. Dude hustles and also doesn't really get calls. Mitch, yes, exactly. It was just a nasty last 2 minutes, bro. It just looked bad. It was ugly. I'm glad we pulled it out. But yeah, man, it was definitely an ugly close to the game for sure. Let's see. All right, let's speed through these a little bit. We're almost at 45 minutes. We get no calls down the stretch. Yeah, we get no calls down the stretch. We spend a lot of time not getting calls, honestly, but down the stretch, we definitely struggle to get some calls. But once again, it was just an ugly end to the game, man, for so many reasons. We should have kept Dotson instead of Bullock. Oh, my goodness. I was so loud about that this offseason. Dotson for like that $4 or $5 million, we definitely could have brought him back over having Reggie. We could have let Reggie go. We could have traded Reggie. I don't know what it is. He has a nice team-friendly contract, but he's not a shooter. Dotson would have been an actual shooter. He would have been a younger guy that you can have grow within the organization, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, man, really, no, that was annoying because we could have kept Dotson, and he could have been doing what Reggie isn't. Dot was just way better. I mean, last year he was even able to put the ball on the floor and get to the basket. Like, he was, guys were closing out too hard. He was putting it on the floor, a couple dribbles, getting to the rim and finishing. Like, we don't ever see Reggie do anything like that. Like, come on now. Like, you just frustrated me. I tried to push that thought out of my head. I've been thinking that since we let Dot go. And I knew we were keeping Reggie, and seeing him start, it just disgusts me, bro. The fact that Reggie Bullock is still starting, man, it was disgusting to me that he was starting last year. But the fact that he's still here and still starting every single game, and we're over 20 games into the season, and he's still starting even though he's not doing shit, it's really disgusting. Reggie Bullock is a filler NBA player. Like, you can win with him as the fifth man on the Lakers, but he's just going to be a LeBron watcher. For us, he's an elf watcher, and being an elf watcher is probably the worst thing you can be in this world other than, never mind. Absolutely, we re-signed Elf out of desperation because we had no other point guard option, and now we are stuck with Bullock when Dotson is way better and super cheap. Way better and super cheap. Also, Dunn agreed that we had no other point guard option. I get it. I understand. But I would have been perfectly fine with either Frank or Dennis, or the two of them, or figuring it out which one of them figured it out, because it's not like Alfred is like, so superior, and he's just taking the minutes away from them, and now you don't really get to evaluate those guys like you should. It's frustrating. Should have kept Dot. Hell, I'd rather see Kadeem Allen play over Payton. That's a fact. Once again, not going to get too much into the Payton killing tonight because he had a good game. I don't want to weaken the stance whenever we do feel that way in other games. I love Kadeem SMA's dude. Always balled out, even with super limited minutes. Yeah, man, he did everything. He shot, he defended, he played hard. I really did. I really love Kadeem Allen. I honestly, truly would prefer him over Alfred Payton. Let's go Yankees. You know what it is. You know what it is. Yankees W. You know what it is. You know what it is. LMAO, I salute the effort to read my nonsense. Hey, man, you feel me? You're here listening to my nonsense. So the least I can do is read a sentence that may be a little bit jumbo, man. I appreciate you guys so much. Can't ever stress that enough. Boom. Actually, TBH, I miss seeing Frank play for sure, bro. Frank always plays good basketball. He's always a net positive. He plays very good defense. He moves the ball well. He's in the right spot at the right time most times. We struggle to see him be aggressive a lot of times, and that was frustrating. But as of recent, whether it's the preseason, very beginning of the season, or end of last season, we saw flashes of more aggression from Frank. So I just would like him to be put in a position to continue to grow like that. I mean, he's only, 21, 22? Like, no older than 22. So it's just like he should be getting some minutes, man, showing what he can be. He was shooting 53% from three at the beginning of the year. He was shooting it with confidence. He was shooting it off the dribble. He was shooting to catch and shoot. I don't know, man. He's just such a great defender. He's so cerebral. Like, yeah, I miss watching Frank play basketball too, man, especially since I got to watch Reggie and the other guy that had a pretty good game today. If IQ is under 20 minutes this weekend, I'm going to lose it. I legitimately love watching him play basketball. It's so fun. He really makes basketball so fun, bro. Yes, him being under 20 minutes is a travesty. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But once again, salute to Alfred Payton for playing a good game. Now that you say it, Dot is basically just what we want Reggie to be. 100%, he's exactly what we want Reggie to be, and Reggie won't be that, and he doesn't get any better. See y'all Saturday, revenge game versus Portland. Get a little streak going. Hashtag play IQ. Revenge game against Portland on Saturday. Hopefully IQ gets his revenge on Dame, gets to drop another 30. Hopefully he gets to play consistently. Hopefully now he doesn't go back to sitting out the whole first quarter because Alfred had one solid good game. Yeah, but salute to all of you guys. Thank you so much. At this point, I'm either going to ramble or repeat myself. We're 46 minutes in. This is a lot for somebody to watch if they come find it later. Send it to a friend. Let them know that this is where the post-game shows are now. You feel me? Just try to get as many people over here as we can as quickly as possible and keep them moving forward. Once again, thank you guys so much. If you missed it, the Essentia Postgame Prosperity Pinky Up player of the game is Julius Randle. Thank you for your performance at 27.6 rebounds, 6 assists, and being the All-Star that you are every single game. Make sure you're voting for Julius Randle for the All-Star game on a daily basis because that's your duty as a Knicks fan. Plenty of excellent content on TKW. Plenty of articles by excellent writers about a bunch of different things, whether it's trade rumors, whether it's rotational decisions, whether it's evaluating people's play. You can definitely find an article for whatever you may be thinking Knicks related on the Knicks wall. So shout out to everybody involved. Shout out to you guys for being here. Boom, boom, boom. Have a good night, everyone. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I can't stress it enough, bro. Really appreciate you guys being here. It's so much fun to do this. It's such a great thing to be able to get on here and express these things and have these conversations with you guys after the games. Dream come true type shit. So thank you so much. Love you guys. Until next time. See you Saturday. Brazil rolls with the Knicks.